This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your Exodus Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every.
Wow. What a game, what a ride, and what a finish. The Rangers go on and beat the Braves. They go toe-to-toe and win it in the 10th inning by the final of 6-5 with Marcus Semien getting the SKO. Rangers beat the Braves in 10, 6-5, and here we go, 5 wins in a row. Welcome to the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed. That is where you will find the great work of Bryce Patrick. But tonight, it is all about the great win for the Rangers. I hope that if you were watching it, or, well, I hope you got to see the whole thing. But if you didn't, I hope that you had a chance to see the end, because I'll tell you what, I've been blessed to cover the game for, I don't know, 35, 36, how many number of years, been to a lot of games, playoff games, World Series, All-Star games, the whole thing. But I have never, ever once in my career seen a game where a guy gets drilled in the head, gets up, stays in the game, and then comes back and gets the game-winning hit, walk-off hit in the bottom of the 10th inning. I've never, ever seen that in my entire career. Don't think we'll ever see that again. Props to Marcus. I think he typifies, signifies, highlights, whatever word you want to use, just what a resilient comeback and turnaround this has been for the Rangers. And one thing I'll say before we get going, and is that, you know, as bad as that first half was, you know, the team, they had to go through that together. We were together, right? We were talking about it every game, but I mean, they had to live with it. They had to carry that with them, you know, wherever they went, and they had to go through that, and the losses and the strikeouts and the pain, and they kept fighting, and that fight made them stronger. And what we're seeing right now is the fruit of that. You know, I said this early in the season, that if you want to get to the gold, you got to go through the fire. You got to get purified through the fire. They went through the fire. Season's not over yet, but again, wins like this, huge. Just, you know, it's foolish of me to even try to quantify or, you know, put a label on it or try to put it in a box. I mean, just a huge win, especially a game that really, you know, I'll tell you what, you look at this Braves team, without a doubt, the biggest disappointment in baseball this season. I think we would all agree on that. But what you saw tonight, I mean, this is a team that their hitting has not been the problem. Yeah, I mean, they still miss Freddie Freeman. Don't get me wrong, but they've got some talent in that lineup. The pitching has been the problem, big problem. But they offensively, they came to play tonight, and they wanted the win tonight. They really wanted to get that win tonight, and you know what? They didn't get it. The Rangers got it, 6-5 in 10 innings.
This is what you'll be talking about.
To get to, and I know a lot of you are already jumping in. I want to get to as many as your comments as I can. Big win last night, another big win tonight. I was really excited to see Kumar Rocker take the mound tonight. He has been especially dominant at home this season, 3-0 with an ERA under 2. That was coming into tonight. Unfortunately, not the case tonight. Rocker struggled out of the gate. 29 pitch first inning. The Braves got a run in the first, another in the second. They jumped out to the early 2-0 lead. But in the bottom of the second, facing Grant Holmes, Adolis got it started with a leadoff walk. He then ran hard and scored on an RBI double. I thought it was a triple for Evan Carter. And then how about Josh Young with a clutch RBI hit to bring home Carter? That tied the game. Young, by the way, now has a hit in every game since being called back up. Really scary moment in the bottom of the third when Marcus was drilled on the side of his head by the Holmes fastball. Thankfully, it got primarily the ear flap of his batting helmet first before it kind of hit his cheek as well. But hey, you know what? He took first base. Adolis got the payback with a 2-run single to put the Rangers up 4-2. And then, of course, Marcus would go on to get the ultimate revenge in the bottom of the 10th with the walk-off hit. Tough night for Kumar Rocker. Tough night for the Rangers bullpen. But, hey, the Rangers, one of those games where, sometimes it's not going to go how you script it. Sometimes you're kind of going at it back and forth, and you need some help, and they picked each other up. The bullpen got the outs. That play in the top of the 10th when Olsen didn't go home, Armstrong was able to get out of that. That was huge. The clutch hitting, and the bottom line is the Rangers got the win to improve to 7-1, or 6-1. Trying to do the math here on the fly. Wait, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-1. 7-1 homestand. I can add. I really can. So one of those things. One of those nights. Kumar Rocker. I don't know about you, but he had his mouth open a lot, and I was wondering maybe he was sick. Maybe he was, because he usually doesn't breathe out of his mouth like that. And I thought maybe he was kind of off, but he just did not. He looked good in the third inning, but just did not have it tonight. But still was able to grind through 4 innings, and the Rangers now make it 5 in a row, 7 of 8 since the All-Star break, 10 of 12 overall, and a huge win tonight. The way that they came back to tie it in the bottom of the 9th with the clutch RBI double for Jonah Heim. And then, again, just can't say it enough for Marcus Semien to come through the way that he did. Man, what a game, what a night, and what a win. All right, when we come back, I want to hear from you via the comment crew. We'll do that when we return. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. All right, how's that? I'm not Superman, but hey, I do want to tell you about Game Day Hue. We talked about them last night. So pumped. I've had a chance to deal with them a little bit, and they are really first class. And when I think of Game Day Hue, I think of just class, right? You want your colors, you want to represent, but you want to look classy, right? And so today's episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue, and so I'm wearing the hat. This one really hits the mark for me. I wanted red on purpose. I want to get RCC up here, but the cool thing is Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you with no giant logos, Just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. The gloves are awesome. You know, if you want a good quality glove that really fits well, that is strong and durable, it's not going to rip, not going to tear. This is the game day Hue glove. Got the ready to go with the hat. I am ready to go. And again, not just the hats. Check out their split shade gloves made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for the fan who has everything. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now is really the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, MLB15. All right, and as you know, it's that time. And if you've ever wanted at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family, maybe you want to go tomorrow, right, to see the finale before the Rangers hit the road. It's game day, and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That is exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, right, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes that possible. Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and even a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, welcome back to the Rangers postcast. The Rangers rallied to beat the Braves in 10 innings by the final of 6-5. One other note, you may have seen Jock Peterson was in the dugout, and he will be activated tomorrow and will return as the Rangers' full-time DH. Also, Jake Berger has begun swinging. He hopes to return in a couple of weeks. That will be around August 8th. And after getting released by the Rangers, Luke Jackson has signed with the Tigers, who the Rangers will not face again this season. All right, here we go. Leading us off, as always, good evening to Alf. Alf, what is up? Good to hear from you out of the gate. Love these guys, win or lose, Peagle up. Well said. Congrats to Sear on the streak. Yep, that's 26 straight games now, getting on base for Corey. Viva El Bombi. Good evening, Shirley, who says, good evening, Rangers fam. Hope everyone had a good day. Thank you, Shirley, and hope you and Alf got to enjoy the game tonight and can enjoy the game tomorrow and hopefully the sweep. But the bottom line is the Rangers have won the series, and they've won it again, and they're rolling on this homestand. Al said, spent the day in Branson, back home in Oklahoma. Awesome. Hope you have a great trip and safe trip back if you haven't come back yet. Alf, thank you for getting in. I've got I think we've got some new people watching us live tonight. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the show. Keith is out fishing, says, hello, win column. James Eustace, great game. Soldier X, most of the game. This looked like the earlier season Rangers, but this team seems to have turned the corner. That would have been a horrible loss due to Langford. Yeah, Well said. Glad you brought that up. I think, and I've talked about this a lot. I don't take any. There's no delight. I'm not trying to be the old man. I don't feel old, number one, but number two, I don't like the get off my lawn mentality. But there was a time not too long ago where being a complete 5-tool player was considered the ultimate compliment in baseball. Now, look, I don't get me wrong. I am not saying that Evan Carter or Wyatt do not want to be the best outfielders they can be. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that if I were them, if I was in their shoes, kind of hard. It's hard right now during the season, but the great ones always do this. Magic Johnson used to work on something every year, for example, for his game, using a basketball reference. But the great ones always try to find a way to get better. And so if I'm Wyatt and I'm Evan, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to be even better defensively? What can I do to win a Gold Glove? And there's just little thing. It takes work, but you'd be surprised how much you can improve. And so anyway, long answer, Soldier X, but I'm with you. And I think you can even work on it a little bit on the road. Get out there a little bit early. I know it's hot, but depending on where they're at. Paul Wilson says, love it. Dave Meyer says, wow, edge of my seat. Great game. Keith is out fishing. Says, y'all think the Rangers will go after O'Hearn? Curious to see what they're going to do. I mean, the fact that they let Jackson go, they got rid of Dunning. Clearly, to me, they're trying to get some financial room, so they can bring somebody aboard and not hit the CBT, the tax. So it's going to be interesting. The trade deadline coming up on the 31st. The Rangers will be on the road, but we'll see. You know what? I clicked to, there we go. I'm trying to find where I was. Keith says, another series win. Texas Hobby Bin says, let's go. Great day to have worn my Semien jersey. Let's keep the momentum. Paul says, finding a way to win despite shaky starting pitching and a couple of defensive miscues. Texas Hobby Bin says, these are the Rangers we know and love. Yeah, well said. Keith points out the Astros lost to the A's. And how about this? Let me just hear me out really quick, okay? Just hear me out, okay? Because it was not too long ago, right? We were all kind of circling the drain, and we thought, man, this team is horrible. They're going to have the fire sale. They're going to clean house. Let's get ready for next season, right? I mean, that wasn't too long ago, right? You with me? You agree, right? Well, take a look at the standings right now, okay? Not only are the Rangers now, at the moment, they're a half game behind Boston and Seattle, who are tied for the wild card, okay? They're a game and a half behind the Yankees for the best record in the American League, okay? You get that? A game and a half. The Rangers are a game and a half out of the best record in the entire American League. So, I mean, you talk about a turnaround. You talk about a flip of the switch. I mean, think about that. A couple weeks ago, we were looking ahead to spring training in Florida, and I'm sorry, in Arizona, and now they're a game and a half out. So, just shows you, it's not only has this team turned around, but they they're in a good spot with their pitching and their defense and the way that the offense. I can't wait to see how the final couple months play out. Can't wait, and I know that you guys are going to be right there with me, and that fires me up. And we're going to be there every game, and can't wait. Paul says things just keep getting better. Red Sox and Mariners. Texas Hobby Bin loves seeing Haggerty on base. 2. Train Guy says now we're 5 games behind Houston. This is crazy. It is crazy. Isaac says, let's go Rangers. Heim with a game-tying RBI. Semien with a walk-off. Good for him after getting whacked in the head. There is no quit in this team. Well, again, because, look at what they went through. They're fighting, and they had to fight to get out of the hole that they were in. Battlefield A says it was pretty poetic that Semien pulled off the walk-off. Well said. The Real Deal says can't keep a good guy down. Let's go Rangers. Robert Jones III getting back in to be hit in the head and then hit the walk-off. What a warrior Marcus Semien is. Yeah, no doubt. J.A. Lander, go Rangers from Braves Country in South Carolina. Thank you, J.A., for jumping in. Hope you can join us again. James Eustace, Semien is a great leader for the other guys on this team. Yeah, no doubt. John Crabtree getting in. Second best run differential in the American League. July has been a good month. Yes, it has. A great month. What are they? I think since like June 7th or something, now 26 and 15, something like that. That's a good run. Isaac says the Rangers team in April or May wouldn't have won this game. I agree. BB getting in. A little scary at the start, but the first half, Rangers team would not be able to win, down by 2. Semien getting the last laugh. Hurrah. Black Manus 78, Astros fan here, says our injuries are catching up with us. AAA lineup players are starting to get exposed. We don't have enough MLB players right now. Yeah, that's true. You know what? But with all due respect to the Astros and their fans, they've had a pretty good run. But right now, we're talking about the Rangers run, and they need to keep it going. They won it a couple of years ago, and they need to get another one. LK Time says, sweet old revenge for Marcus Semien. Gets drilled in the head, but gets the last laugh with his walk-off hit. Land on Airline says Rocker struggles on the road, struggled today at home. Whenever I watch Rocker pitch, he always struggles. You know what? In fairness, though, when you don't, yeah, I mean, he's been really, really good. This was his worst start since he came back up. He's been pitching really, really, really well. That's why I was really excited. Kyle says, OMG, Semien is the man. Yeah, no doubt. Love all your comments there, Kyle. John, sorry, feel for you, my man. Keith, thank you for the kind words. The Real Deal. Thanks for jumping in as well. Alf, I hear you, Ralph. Alf, I'm sorry. Alf, you're right. You came up with that. Thank you for that. Mike, make them pay. Marcus, Adam, jumping in. Hard to imagine a more powerful display of leadership for your teammates than a fastball to the head and then hitting the walk-off winning hit. Yeah. And final one, the Real Deal says, never underestimate the heart of a champion. Well said. And you know what? When you win a championship the way that the Rangers did, you go through something, and you can't take that away, and that doesn't go away. And there's something to be said about going through that and winning it. A lot of people don't, and a lot of players don't. So I'm with you. I think you can never underestimate that. Sam the Man, Semien is such a stud for staying in the game. Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to come out. I thought they would want to protect him and play safe. One more, Prime Sounds. Before we wrap up, how do I feel about the Rangers handling Osuna? You know what, Prime, I love the kid, but needs a little more work. They need more from the whole lineup, but from those outfield spots, they need more production. I know he didn't get to play every day, but I think he made a good impression. He played hard, had a great attitude, and I think if he can just kind of hone his game and really learn how to become a complete hitter, I think he can find a spot. I hope so. I'm pulling for him. But it's just a numbers game, and you know their goal right now is to have the best roster and the best lineup, top to bottom. Period. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for getting in tonight. Really appreciate it very much, especially on a Saturday night. First class by you. You could be out or doing whatever. So the fact that you made time to be a part of this, appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great Sunday, but enjoy this win. And again, props to Marcus Semien. Man, just again, hip in the head and then getting the walk-off hit. Never seen that before. Awesome. All right, final score tonight. Rangers beat the Braves in 10, 6-5. This has been the Rangers Postcast.